Welcome back. We are still discussing stress management in trying times. And with me in the studio, yes, I've been doing justice to it, my good friend Ita. So this takes me to another question. Okay, whom do you share your concerns with when you are going through stress?
Okay, so when you're going through stress, you can actually share your concerns with a supportive friend.
Okay.
That's like, because usually they are the people around you, they're people that you get to see every time. And that's why it's very important as people that we have that one person or those people around us that constitute our area of support for us. So you can talk to a supportive friend about how you're feeling. First of all, you need to be very honest with yourself and be sure that this person you're talking about is really supportive. Now, remember the word I say here is supportive. I'm not talking to someone who is going to judge what's going on with you, because someone will just be like, is it this small thing that happened that is making you worried? Some people may not understand, but you need to talk to someone who really understands what you're going through. Okay, you can talk to a supportive friend. If you have a mentor, a counselor, you can always talk to them. And of course, I always encourage people to talk to a psychologist, talk to a professional, because these people are not going to judge you. They're going to really just listen to you, know exactly what is going on, and most likely direct you to a solution. Because sometimes when we're going through difficult stress, we don't even realize that there is actually a solution to the problem, because we are so overwhelmed by the feelings, and of course stress could lead to anxiety, could lead to depression and all that. So we're so overwhelmed with those negative feelings that we're not even thinking about the solutions to that problem. So talking to someone outside yourself just helps you to see that this is not the end of the world. There is a way out of it, and possibly help you to provide solution to those problems.
Now, thank you so much for that. Don't just lock yourself up. Some people, when they are stressed, they will just, depressed, they will just lock themselves in, shut themselves out. Like, isolate yourself from other people. It's not the best. Get somebody you speak to. Yeah? Very, very, yeah. So have somebody you at least confine you can speak to. Look, oh boy, I don't know, this is what I'm going on. And since I had this story, or since this thing happened to me, this is how I've been feeling. It's important. You mentioned psychologists. Maybe at that time, there's no psychologist around you. You can confine. You look at your mother, your father that can give you. Yes, it's also a friend. Don't just see them. No. So, or your pastor, or a man, head of a man in a church, in the mosque, or whoever. Confine is somebody. Don't just remain in isolation, because if you do that, it will worsen the situation. Okay, when you are stressed, what do you do and how do you manage it? That's the main thing now. So
okay.
What do you do and how do you manage it?
So, like the first thing I said, everybody goes through stress in life. So first of all, first things first, realize that it is normal to go through stress. Everybody would go through stress in life at some point. Sometimes the stress is more than others. Sometimes it's mild. Sometimes can be very severe. But just realize that in life, there is stress. You know, I was talking to someone and I was saying that every stage in my life, for every stage there is stress. Before we got into school, we were stressed about when will I go to school. You got to the university, you are stressed about what will I graduate with. You graduate from the university, what next? Will I get a job? You get a job, how do I please my boss? You know, like, so for every single stage of your life, there is always something to cause some level of stress. So you need to realize that stress is part of life. You would always go through stress at different points in your life. Then the next thing, after realizing this, the next thing to do is whenever you're stressed, find a stress coping skill that works for you. Some people realize that after a stressful day job, they maybe listen to music. It can work for some people. If that works for you, by all means, do that. Some people also realize that praying helps them. Praying, like believing in a higher power, believing in God helps them. If that's what helps you, by all means, do that. Some people realize that hanging out with friends work for them. If that is it, do it. So there are some little taking like deep breathing exercises too, like taking deep breaths can actually help you to manage your stress level in a short run. But in long run, you want to start thinking about solutions. What is causing the stress? Because the truth is that sometimes the thing causing the stress might be, for example, if you don't have money, like maybe you are broke and that's what's causing your stress. Listening to music will make you happy in a short run,
It will not
but
solve
in the
problem
long run, it
completely.
wouldn't solve the problem. So you need to now start looking out for ways like, what do I need to do to make extra money? Do I need to learn a skill? Do I need to get another job? You know, you need to make
Yes.
plans for how you can manage this stress in the long run. Also, one thing that you should never do is never look for, there's some negative ways to cope with stress, like going into substance abuse, alcohol, weed. Some people tell you, I mean, I work with a lot of clients that tell me that when I smoke weed, it makes me happy. It helps me to forget about my stress.
But it's a lie.
But it's a
That's not true.
negative way to cope with your
That's
stress.
not even
Because in the long run, it makes it worse. It just makes it worse and makes your life
Compounds the
really
problem.
unmanageable. So there are positive ways you can deal with stress. There's not just one way. But if you find out that it's beyond you, you can't cope with it, it's okay to talk to someone. You don't necessarily, sometimes when we go through problem, I feel like in Nigeria sometimes we do competition for who has the biggest problem. Yeah, because when someone is going through something, say, if you see my own, you don't have to go through problems alone. You can always talk to someone. You can always seek help outside yourself. Because sometimes the person might just be saying that one simple thing that you are not saying that makes the difference in all the issues that you're going. So cope with stress by, there's some little things, like I said, it's different for different people. Because me, when I'm stressed, I don't want to listen to music, I want to sleep.
You see?
I want to sleep because music is distracting me. I'm having headaches, so I just want to sleep. So for somebody else to say, when I listen to music, it calms me. Someone says, I just like to go to the beach, as in the water and all that encourages me. So depending on what works for you. So know what works for you. But never, never, never settle for negative coping skills in dealing with your stress, because it only makes it worse.
This is VVView.